We used to start our Tenkasi branch by 2011, I think so. 11 and 12. So at that time, so this was the motto. So currently, what we are doing is our it's called brain drain. So our young generation or from our route and will be moved migrated to cities, which is not good for them as well as for cities. So our CEO aim to do the reverse. So that is plant the roots in their own roots. So moving the uh, young brains to their native, so that in their native they will be sitting in their home and will be coming to our office where the economy, the local economy will boom. So because these highly paid white collar jobs, they will earn much and their spending will be in local economy. And by looking into they will be a role model for some of the people. So by looking into these employees, some young kids get in, what to say, get into these white collar jobs. Just they influence thought process, as well as they can do society works, social works like educating the unprivileged children, sharing their knowledge to the young kids who is doing their college degrees but they don't know hands-on experience in IT. So we can educate, we can share our knowledge to the local people. So that's the motto. With that, we started Zoho Tenkasi by 2012. And at that time, we 6 or 7 people, senior people, moved from Chennai to Tenkasi, and then we have gone through the colleges in and around Tenkasi, Tirunelveli, Nagarkoil, Madurai. So in the southern region, we gone to all the colleges and recruit from there. So most of our Zoho desk team members are from these region. Where we have recruited them by 2013, 14, like that, at that time. So we have grown up to 400 in Tenkasi in the last 10 years. So we already experimented this. This was successfully completed, or maybe we cannot complete it, successfully going on. So with that in mind, when this pandemic, COVID pandemic hit us, so our CEO felt this is the right time to implement in a larger scale. So we started trial by trial, senior people, 4 or 5 spoke offices we started, one in Theni, one in Mohanur, there. So we tried that, and we had positive feedback from all of our employees. So we started by large scale. Now we have around 20 plus spoke offices, and we are working on towards the hub in 4 5 regions. So this is how we start. There is a myth called like in Silicon Valley, if we have a presence, then we will get a big talent resource. But no, that's not the case. Who is that? Everyone is moving from their rural areas and moving towards Silicon Valley or Chennai, Bangalore, like that. So we have to do the reverse process. So that's our motto, and that's why that's the difference. How Zoho thinks from other companies. Everyone will be moving towards the big cities, whereas we move from big cities to rural areas. So that's the difference we see with other companies and Zoho. We will conduct some classes for young students, for graduate studies, for non-technical people. We conducted courses and we trained them in the software industry, like Zoho Creator and other platforms. And we are going to do another initiative by introducing and educating them with our products, so that they will have knowledge about what is software and how Zoho is and what are the products Zoho is offering. So by having this knowledge, they can become a software engineer in Zoho, as well as they can do freelance program in our local platform Zoho Creator, as well as we are planning to refer them to our Zoho partners so that they will recruit from the local people. So this is the kind of knowledge sharing we are doing with the villagers, which is not at all possible by not having our spoke offices. We are having multiple offices in Tamil Nadu as well as in Andhra. In Hyderabad, we have one office like that. Kerala, we have two offices. In Delhi, we have office, and Bhubaneswar, I think so. So we are expanding this hub and spoke model all over the India wherever our employees. So it's a simple thing. So if there are 10 to 15 employees willing to work in a remote location, that's fine. They can set up an initiative for the spoke office there, and just they can come and work in that office. That's the only thing. So yes, they are replicating this in other cities too. Not cities, but we are going towards rural, right? So we are replicating this hub and spoke model in all over India. Wherever our employee strength are available, we are doing. Main issue when developing this project. Okay, so initially, the core problem is in our rural when we started working from home. We had the problem of having fluctuation, power problem, and internet problem. But power problem easily can solvable by having genset or other kind of backups. But for what we faced when we started this spoke of is internet. That's a critical because without that we can't do anything, right? So when we moved on to our rural office and when we set up a rural office, that was a big challenge we faced. Nobody was having the speed what we asked. So even currently in our spoke office, we are running 200 Mbps speed only. So we are having 2 to 3 lines split up in between and sharing that because there is no infrastructure till now. Even till now, we don't have much infrastructure in that internet part. So still, we can manage it by having split up with multiple cyber connections as well as more SIM cards with some remote stuff we are doing like that. And we are expecting to have that kind of much speed one, but it's getting delayed by time. So we need some more time to get those stuff. So that's the difficulty we face. But other than that, we are open to the challenges, and we didn't face much problems, I would say. We are having some inconvenience. It's not about future goals. Our ultimate aim is our rural employees from that surrounding their route, and they have to come to our office from their home. That's the motive we started for this book away. But uh, even now we didn't achieve that goal. So now in this goal itself we are having some difficulties, and we are not sure how we'll be moving forward because now it's focusing towards hub, not the spoke. So in future goals, I don't have any future goals because I am expecting what's going to happen. I have to go to via the flow. So now I can't plan. See, if there was no mind change of employees in the lockdown era, and now I could say, so I can visualize something. So these are all the things I could plan, or I could say these are all my future goals in my spoke office. But now the entire scope is changing. The overall game itself is changing, right? That's why I can't give any proper plan about my future goal. Initially, when I set up, I was the only one working on the initiative. So by looking into the area, by deciding the location, and talking with the landlord, setting up the interior process, everything. So nowadays, our admin gained experience. So setting up spoke is easier for them because we already faced multiple challenges and sorted out, right? So now it's easy for them. They have a process and they are following it. But earlier, when I started, I was the only one who was setting up the office from scratch, and I was running with the vendor, uh, with the landlord, with the EB connections. So everything I was working, and there was not much challenge. I will say those are all when we are building a new home. What are the challenges we face? The same kind of challenges. So once getting the building finalized, so how to get proper internet connection, proper power backup, and getting the local employees for security, for cooking, for housekeeping. So these are all the stuff manually I did for my for our office, and it was easy to get the local workforce because there were a lot of workforce available in local area they are ready to come for even 10,000 or 8,000 month salary for daily. They were going for daily wages, right? So this is a big step for them because we are providing the insurance and necessary stuff, safety measures to them. So they are willingly uh, come to our office, wish to join with us. From the earlier days itself, our CEO used to say, "Eat your own dog food." So, how we started Zoho CRM by 2004-5, how we started our Zoho Writer. So, everything is in falls in the same line. So, if we need a software to be used for our business, then we have to build it. So, what are all the challenges we faced by using the third-party services? So, we started gaining the what are the pain points we are facing. So, what we are going to solve. So, that's how we started building all the products, and by using ourselves, we get to know the pain of the customer as well as the business pains. So we will solve it better when we have the hands-on experience on our product. So what we do normally is whenever there is a new product launches, we will make sure first we use ourselves. So entire Zoho will start using that. Our Zoho office will start using that product, and in first phase we will sort out all the problems faced by our employees. Once we are satisfied with that process, then only we will launch that product to public. So that's how it started. And before this pandemic, we had all the necessary online working tools. But with this pandemic, there was a sudden spike in the Zoho meeting, which is alternate to Zoom, and it's a remote meeting, right? So we had a sudden surge of usage in that, and we were using chat, that is Click, Zoho Click. That's a powerful tool for internal communication, and Zoho Connect, which is a platform for internal communication among our Zoho Corp employees. So these three are the core products we use, and after that, each and every team will be using Zoho project sprints like that. So, but these are all the products. Once our this pandemic started, we started using our Zoho meeting heavily, and we moved a lot of resources, other resource, experienced resources. We allocated more resources to that product, so to gain performance improvement. So within the last 2 years, we have gained much knowledge in that segment, as well as we had made a lot of improvements in that area too, because we have to use our own software for our entire remote process. So earlier too, because before this pandemic, before our government started lockdowns, 3 weeks back itself, we have started our own work from home model. And even before that, before that we were having around 1 month of trial and run experiences. So when there is a lockdown coming in, when everyone is forced to work from home, what are all the challenges we will face? We have experienced, we have made a trial run for almost 1 month, and we made sure everything is perfect. Whatever bottlenecks are there, we cleared everything, and we started before the government started the lockdown. So by using our own software, we already have much knowledge in that area, right? So only thing we have to do during the time is just make sure we don't just fall we don't allow the customer to get into interrupted service. So we made sure we were all available for 24/7 at that time when we had a heavy usage, and then everything falls normally. So that's one thing. So first thing is, as you know, the metropolitan cities. So you will not get fresh whatever necessary for living being. So you have to get fresh water, fresh air, fresh food. So these are all the basic necessities you need. But when you are in Chennai, this will be difficult. So maybe you will get a good food, but that itself will be will not be comes as a natural food. So mostly will be processed one. So, but when you move to smoke office, first thing we get a fresh air and fresh water. And so what we have to do, what we did is each and every employee started living in their society where they belongs to for the past 20 years, where they grown up, where they born and grown up. So they daily, the routine will be like they'll be meeting the local people, their neighbors, their relatives. They will start attending more functions. They will be there whenever there is a function happening. And so it was like they are living actually what they have to do. So what they need is, these are all the stuff, the society where there will be relatives and friends who can talk to. That's a big stress buster. And our CEO used to say, our village, our way of living in village, that's a good way to live without a stress-free life. So with this kind of way of living, we had very healthy by mentally and by physically, our employees' health improved. But there are some cases, exceptional cases, where we have gained more weight because of the lockdowns. That's a different one. But still, how the human beings have to live. So that's the ultimate aim, which is solved by working from spoke office. Because traveling, say, if I am staying 15 kilometers away from my spoke office, traveling to my spoke office is not a big deal. It's matter of 15 minutes travel. But here in Chennai, even for 5 kilometers, we have to spend 30 minutes, 45 minutes. So we have tension-free travel to reach our offices. And employees in our survey said they are living happily with fresh air, food, fresh water, with relatives and friends. So without stress. So that's a good sign we are seeing in our employees.